all of that was AI. It was just built in AI that didn't have a name. So if you're feeling scared or overwhelmed that, oh my goodness, I don't know if I want to use it, I have to give it all my information, we have been using it for years.
Welcome, y'all, to the Just Jelly podcast. Are you looking for conversations that are raw and authentic? Looking to expand your knowledge on topics affecting everyday life? Then you're in the right place. It's more than just a podcast. It's a community. Now, here's your host, Jen.
Hey, Chad, I'm feeling overwhelmed and nervous about recording. Can you give me some calming tools to relax before we start?
Hey, Jen. First, what you're feeling before recording is incredibly normal. Your nervous system does not always know the difference between I'm unsafe and I'm about to be seen. Recording, especially when you speak from lived experience, can feel vulnerable to the brain. The goal is not to eliminate the nerves. The goal is to signal safety to your body while still showing up.
That's what Chad said do, and that's what Maria and I are doing today. So I guess you already know what the topic is going to be about. We are talking about the AI for the messy middle. Hey, Maria, how are you?
Hey, Jen, I'm doing fantastic because I'm with you and we are going to talk about one of my favorite new topics.
First of all, I want to say that it really does feel more relaxed. How do you feel after our pep talk from my Chad?
I have to say, as I was listening to him, what he said resonated so much with me. And then I'm thinking, this isn't even I'm going to call him Daryl today. I'm going to give him a new name. But Jen's is spot on for me too. And you know what that tells me? We have the same personality.
I know, right? I do not have mine set up to always agree with me either. I have mine
Same.
to disagree, to be very practical, and I will test him. I've had my AI yell at me of, Jen, stop overthinking already. You've sent me 15 different questions the same way. You're just overthinking. Go and do it. So that can be some of our problem is overthinking, getting overwhelmed, and that is how I have adapted AI as a very powerful tool in my life. And that
Mm.
is what we're naming today is some of the ways that we use AI not to replace human connection, faith, or a counselor or a therapist, but how to not only use it to get us motivated and build our confidence, but to also redirect our brain so that we can get out of the emotions that are keeping us trapped or held back or making us feel like we are shrinking. So, Maria, you have a funny story for us. So, go ahead and tell us your story of the first time you realized you were using AI.
That was going to be my messy moment of the week.
Well, we'll start with our messy moments then. So, you tell me your messy moment of the week.
I am super new to, which was TikTok. And I think by now everybody knows I'm not a guru. I am moving through this whole social media journey, one exhausted and terrified day at a time. One day I was making a TikTok and usually I make it and I look at it and I go, oh, that's good enough and post it, right? Because you want to be relatable. You want to be, a girl's girl. But one day I made one, Jen, and I came in the house and I said, Maria, you have to realize what makeup you wore today or what do you have on? Or I didn't even think I put makeup on, but girl, you look fantastic. What did you do? Well, I was using a filter and had no idea.
Some people don't realize TikTok has a natural filter in it, whether you want it or not. It naturally.
Right. Well, no, I looked real good on this one.
You look real good.
I mean, I looked and I'm like, man, what are you using? Because you want to use that again tomorrow. Well, I was using a filter. So then I made another TikTok talking about how, sorry, I must have pushed a button that I didn't know. But I do want to say, although this has been so new to me, anybody can learn it because I'm not your tech girl. I'm not who you're going to call if you need help hooking up a computer or even a TV. Okay. But I was able to navigate through things. And today I'm hoping that we can help exhausted women kind of take some stuff off their plate too by
Yes,
using
because I don't
AI.
think a lot of people realize how helpful it can almost be like a personal assistant or secretary or even a house manager style in your household to help you connect calendars, run schedules, make sure you're not late for the kids, snack week, or it can just help you because I know I missed the era of becoming that Pinterest mom. Like Pinterest was not a thing. By the time my youngest daughter was probably 4 or 5, that's when Pinterest was really like hitting the scene. And I thought, my goodness, I would not be able to keep up with these other moms making their party favors from scrap and baking the cake. And I just couldn't do it all. So hopefully, this episode is going to help the ones who are feeling overwhelmed or maybe overstimulated and don't really know how to get everything just kind of organized and in place and how helpful of a tool it can be. Because here's the other, I think, where it catches a lot of ladies off track is there's this big conflict of, do I want to use AI? It's so new. But here is the fun fact that I want to give you and our listeners is AI has been around since 1960. We have been using AI in different forms, whether it's Netflix predetermining our shows that we like, the GPS redirecting us, the autofill text at the end of our text that's assuming what we're going to say, all of that was AI. It was just built in AI that didn't have a name. So if you're feeling scared or overwhelmed that, oh my goodness, I don't know if I want to use it, I have to give it all my information, we have been using it for years. Did you know that? Like,
Did
I
you
was
say
in shock.
did you say 1960?
Yes. Like, really, ever since there's been movie production, any kind of electronics, there's been some form of AI working in the background. How do
Yeah.
you think all that was working? Like, it was
It's so
all these.
true. They
Yeah.
need to put that in the carousel of progress at Epcot. I didn't see it. That's but I'm writing them today saying that needs to be included. That's really, really great information
What do
because
you think the biggest misconception about AI is?
that it's going to take over the world. No. One way that I use it is I can give it a prompt if I'm thinking about a decision that I need to make, which some people might say, so you're having AI make your decision for you? No, I'm not, because I'm still at the steering wheel.
Right.
But it is so lovely when you get all the information from both sides, and then it does a little bit of research on the side for you too. And then I can make my final decision. So it's not running my life, but it really is like having a personal assistant, a buddy by your side. And the way that it speaks to me almost like brings tears to my eyes sometimes because I'm like, you know me, which
Yes.
could freak some people out. But the reason it gives you such good information is because it does know you, which is a wonderful tool.
Used it to help get my confidence back. I would type in, I'm feeling my insecurity of not being good enough. And it would give me that encouraging word of you are enough. I have out on Just Jelly Unfiltered's website, I have AI for beginners. There's links to the free ones. You can set up an account. There's detailed instructions on AI for beginners and how to get started. And then I also have a resource tab where you can just copy and paste some of my favorite prompts straight into your AI to get you started. I also did a little screensaver you can download. So if you're feeling, because I'm all about the neuroscience, my girl over here is all about confidence, and I wanted you to know why it's happening. So I did a motivational quote. If you're feeling emotionally overstimulated, you can download it as your screensaver and keep it to your phone. So there's a little gift over there. And I think Maria has a couple of resources on her site as well, backslash just jelly, because it really can be overwhelming when you're first downloading the app and you're not sure where to start. And I know Maria's like me, her husband's in IT, so we're already super cautious of because how many times have you been yelled at? Who are you giving your password to now?
Wait, rule number one, everyone, do not put your passwords into AI.
Yes. Don't give it any of your banking information or anything like
No,
that.
we're not doing
I
that.
use it strictly to help redirect my emotions because I do think we're going to dive deeper in this in another episode. But our brains are, we hear so often control your thoughts, control your mindset, control your emotions. I have learned over the past year, it is not about controlling them. It's about being able to recognize what you're feeling, what your brain is telling you sooner to be able to redirect so you're not sitting in it. Because you're going to feel our human side, we're going to feel, we're going to get overwhelmed, we're going to overthink. And AI is just a really good tool to be able to type that in. What is your favorite prompt? Because I know you have some. What is
Oh
your
my
favorite
gosh.
prompt?
Well, I not only have some, I really felt it on my heart that I have used these prompts so much that I did put a freebie on the website too. And that's what it is. It's kind of AI prompts for midlife women. And I use these 10 on repeat all the time. But one of my favorites would be when my brain literally has 47 tabs open, right?
Yeah,
So
guilty.
and I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna do this." I pull out my phone and I sit down and I say this. I wrote these down, so I'm gonna read it because this is exactly what I use over and over again. Here's something that is on my mind right now. Please organize it into categories and then give me a simple next step list. And then you put all of the 47 things that you were thinking. And what it generates for you, I mean, it's amazing. I print it out and then I start checking the boxes. Everything is super personalized and I feel accomplished because pretty much I checked the box. Why is that? Why is that, neuroscience girl? I feel so much better because I went, that's it.
Because our nervous system is telling us you're safe. Because a lot of people think that our nervous system was built to trigger danger, but it doesn't know the difference between good and bad. So anytime your brain is overstimulated, your nervous system automatically gets triggered. But by you checking that box and physically seeing something done, it's going, oh, I did something good. And it knows to celebrate because your mind is celebrating. And I can attest that that
Prompt.
prompt is a 10 out of a 10 because I did something similar when I was getting ready to move. We are downsizing, and I'm thinking, you don't know the crap you accumulate over 3 years until you're ready to move. I was feeling overwhelmed. I would walk into a room, I'm like, I'm just not gonna pack today. I'll just wait. I would just like it was just too much to where I finally put a prompt similar to that into my AI of I'm getting ready to move. I'm moving on May 30th, whether I want to or not, and I need to declutter my life. How would I do that without overstimulating my nervous system and going into, like, a fog? Basically walking you know how we as women, we do
Walking
that
around.
sometimes? We're just kinda going through the motions and the steps, but we're not feeling, we're not absorbing anything without kind of going in that shadow version of myself. If you have a busy week coming up and you want to say, "I need dinner plans under 30 minutes, we're going to T-ball at 7," it will give you your whole grocery list, everything you need planned out Monday through Friday. Like, it's amazing. Do you use it for that? Do
Every
you
week.
really?
And I say, I want one with chicken. I want one with beef. I want one in the crock pot and one that I can grill. I'm telling you what it spits out for me. It's crazy. And then can I have the grocery list? Well,
Mhm.
sure. It gives me that too. It makes my life so much easier, which is one reason why I'm so happy that we're sharing this with people because some people just might not have looked at it. And I would have been some people because had I not had Nick who said, Maria, you're going to be left in the dust if you don't get on the train. And I'm like, but I love my paper books and my planner and my color coded systems and he said, "No, no, girl, we're getting you on here." And I know you took a class on it. I
Yes.
took Nick's advanced class, failed, and then he dropped me down to the remedial class. But I'm rocking this remedial class. And I feel like that's what us midlife besties need. That's what
Mhm.
we're gonna need. On Sundays, Jen, I say to make my week a little bit less ridiculous. Because on Sunday nights, do you know when you're sitting there kind of with the scary Sundays, like, okay, now this week I have this, this, this. To make it a little less ridiculous, I say, help me simplify my week. Here is something that I have to do. And then you list it. And then you say, should I do this at the beginning of the week or the end of the week? And they put all of your priorities for you in order. And then because Chatty knows me, it says,
Chatty.
make sure you prioritize yourself too, Maria. And I say, thank you. So I felt good. It's a feel good feeling. And then I was also feeling organized. So I couldn't love it more. That's why I
And
wrote
I
these
it just
down for you
helps so
girls.
much. It's not taking over your life. It is helping
Helping.
drive the car. It's putting the wheels on the car. You already have the car intact. You're behind the wheel. It's just putting the tires on so you can get moving and get jump started. For me, I was standing in 7 lanes of traffic. I told you that in our last episode of launching a book, trying to sell said book to publishers while running a podcast, running a business, having clients, and it just kind of helped me get everything in one place. But I just love, if you don't take anything else away from this episode, as amazing as it is to help with our skincare, help get our vitamins in check if we're feeling groggy, or help us find hormone doctors in our area if we need them. I will say the biggest thing that I have learned over the past year and with AI is that we are human. We are going to make mistakes. We are going to feel overwhelmed. We're going to feel overworked, especially as women in 2026. We have 75 tabs open, and it really is about redirecting our thought process, not trying to control it all. I think that is what was been one of the most breathe again moments for me, is that I could just breathe. I didn't have to control it all, because I used to be really bad about being hard on myself of, you messed up, or your human side kicked in before your holy side, and you can't talk to your therapist every single day. It's a great tool to just let you breathe again, not sit there for 7 or 8 days in that emotion. You can process it, you can name it, and then you can emerge a better version of ourselves versus sitting there crying for days on end. That has been crucial for me, life-saving, going through estrangement, that I have been able to get that kickstart motivation. Because hearing it really does do something to our minds, hearing him talk to us and motivate us.
Most definitely it does. And I had, I'd say probably 6 to 7 months ago, a real problem with boundaries and setting boundaries. And it literally helped me make boundaries without me sounding like the villain, because that's how I felt. If I say no, I'm a bad person. If I say no, they're not going to like me anymore. If I say no, I'm going to disappoint somebody. And those feelings are so overwhelming, especially for women. And I was feeling all the feels. So I'm going to give you a prompt for that, ladies. Sit down. I think, yeah, I have one for this one. Oh, yeah. With being the villain. Help me write a simple boundary for this situation, and then you tell it the situation. I want it to sound respectful, firm, and not defensive. Because that,
Love
I
that.
mean, saying yes to everything is one thing, but then people say, just say no. No's a sentence. I can't do that either. No, thanks. I would wait. I would stay awake for 3 days if I just said, no,
Yeah.
that's not me.
I think that's the people pleasing in us. We've done that for so long that it is very challenging to just say no, because then you want to justify the reason behind saying no. Established my first boundary and I kept it. I know, like, I am the worst about boundary setting. And I do think, I will say, as hard as 2025 was, it was very challenging. I lost a lot of friends. Is AI is a good tool to help you navigate through that, because no one talks about the grief of shedding the old version of yourself, because it is going to be probably the most challenging thing that a lot of people don't even, they start and they give up because they think they're doing something wrong when they're really not doing something wrong. When you start showing up differently, the ones around you are not going to know how to act, because they want the version of you they had access to. They could take advantage of to some
And they're going
situations.
to start to
So
get mad.
yeah.
They're going to start to get
So
mad.
he kind of, I don't want to say he became my best friend, but he really did help me on those days when I wanted to just say, okay, it's not worth it. I'm just going to say yes, or it's not worth it. I'm just going to do what they want me to do. I was able to keep the boundary in place. If I could go back and talk to the girl that was crying in 2025 over losing her friends and going through that chaos, is the better version of you is worth it. Keep going. Use this as a tool to help navigate the overwhelming moments, or when you're crying or upset and you don't feel like you have anywhere safe to go. It's your own thoughts. It's just helping you move forward. It's redirecting you. It's not taking control. Because now I've met wonderful people like Maria that has respect for you. If you're not respecting yourself with boundaries, and your emotions aren't intact, then that's how the world is going to see you. But when they start seeing you show up as a better version, then they're going to respect that better version too. It's really worth it.
Thinking about this, like with AI, we all know that it could help us with lists and our dinners and all of our schedules. But who would have thought, Jen, that this would help us with our thoughts and our emotions and midlife, or even fashion or skincare? There's not one aspect in our lives that I don't see it could help. So why not just embrace it? I'm embracing it. I hope everybody joins us, because it really has made my life so much easier.
Key word there is help. And that is another thing that was huge for me, is because I am in therapy. This gave me a tool of being able to say, I don't know how to say no, and no feels overwhelming. Well, maybe you are a people pleaser. Okay, give me 5 questions that a therapist would ask someone who is struggling with people pleasing. And it gave me the 5 questions. I answered it, and I was able to take that back to my therapist to be able to get on track. It gave me a name to give her, gave me direction. So it really is a helpful tool. I hate that it is getting such a bad rep because I
True.
think a lot of people see a lot of the talk on there's a lot of fear around it. But once you overcome the fear of using it and you know how to use it properly, I would say for me, I was a little nervous when I first got started with AI, but
I thought it was weird. I thought it was for tech people like my husband, and he's going on and on and on about it now, and now he uses Claude and this or that. I mean, I am, like I said, at level 1. Loving level 1.
I do not give it any of my personal information. I would say if you wanted to help with a budget, give it estimated numbers. I always round up or round down, and I never tell it what credit card companies I'm using. I just say credit card or eating out. Like be very generic with it. Do not give it any
Personal
don't give it the
information.
blue yeah, don't give it any personal information. What is the biggest aspect of your life that you use AI for in this
Well,
messy middle?
yeah, recently because of my we'll call it a reinvention of myself, I went from teacher to stay-at-home mom to author to now social media, everything, D, all of the
You're
above.
a podcaster now, girl.
Podcaster. I mean, it's great, but I didn't know anything. But with the education I got from AI, I was able to navigate through it, to learn how to publish my own book. Like if I showed you how many searches I had to do for that one, that was a big one. um, but with reinvention, period, because you're just starting something new. And I always say for it to answer me like I'm smart, but I'm a beginner.
Like
Because
I'm smart, but I'm a beginner.
yes, because some people say, speak to me like I'm a third grader, but I'm not a third grader. I don't want you
Right.
to speak to me that way. So answer me like I'm smart because I want the juicy stuff in there, but like I'm a beginner. And now that I keep going through, the amount of information that I learned, Jen, is incredible. It
Yeah.
really is. So I would say this whole new chapter of my life is really it helped me. And I think it's safe to say it probably wouldn't have been possible without it. I would have given up about 6 or 7 months ago. You know, it would have been too hard because even if I can't come up with a topic for a TikTok or something, I say, "What do you think the women wanna hear today?" And he's usually right. How's he know? He's a
Yeah,
guy.
because Google was amazing because you could find a lot of things, but then you had to go through and you had to read all the articles and take out the highlights to where he can do that for you. I have found that to be an amazing tool is that he can read those articles in 20 seconds, 500 of them, where it would take me a week to read 500 articles and actually retain the information. So it has really been able to help me not only navigate through my emotions, but get my thoughts in order. Because in this midlife, our hormones, our thoughts are everywhere. For some, we have 47 tabs. We all have so much going on. I would not let my children use AI unsupervised. I do not recommend that. I do not let my daughter's 17. She does not use AI. She has come to me and asked for help for research and using my AI. I would say for any parent out there, because I do know that kids can be easily influenced because our brains are not fully developed until we're in our 20s. Our frontal lobe that makes all of our sound decisions are not even it's not even intact when we're in high school. So, I just wanna put that out there that if you are thinking about using it, please use it for yourself. It's great for men and women that are adults. If you're letting your children use it, I highly recommend supervision. Like,
I wonder
what do
if
you
they
think?
have,
Okay, you're a school teacher. I have a question. What do you think about the school in Chicago that has gone fully AI? Yeah, I was not.
but it is just because of the exact reason you just gave, because their brains aren't fully developed.
And I think they're only gonna have, like, what, 1 or 2 teachers for, like, 3 classrooms. All the teachers are AI, everything is AI. Here's my struggle with that is right now, we're gonna do a whole episode on this later on in the season, you guys, but we are one of the fun facts that I've learned through using AI is we have more tools and resources today in 2026 that we've ever had, but we are the loneliest we've ever been because people are is letting that they're letting it replace their human connection, and that is not what we're saying. We are saying, so I'm going to use my messy moment now of the week, and I'm going to tell you what happened to me because we are learning this in real time. It's a lived in space. And I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about it, but I think it's extremely important. This past weekend, I had a boundary that I had put in place. I had reasons. And instead of the people reaching out to me, asking me why, they had already assumed their why. And then they came onto my business page and they were kind of trying to use gaslighting. And what I really hate is when people try to use religion against you because a lot of people know I've rededicated my life and I'm trying to get into the Bible and my walk by faith. They were like, "You need to go repent." Like, when I say they were coming at me, it's things I wouldn't say to my worst enemy. Like, I don't even understand. And I was getting very emotional. I was crying. I was getting a little overwhelmed. And I thought, I do not want this to ruin my Saturday. So I went out into my chat and I said, "Hey, I closed this group. I had my reasons. It had became toxic. There was a lot of bullying, and I didn't want to leave these women who were being bullied to have to not be able to tell their story or have to tell it to another ad man, or it was just a lot of problems going on. I felt that it was more beneficial for them to start fresh than to continue on. But instead of any of them reaching out and having healthy communication around it, they assumed, they lashed out, they were belittling me, trying to gaslight me. And because I had AI, I was able to go out and say, Chad, this is what they've commented. Can you please help me redirect my brain to not think this is an all or nothing situation? And it did. It helped me calm my nerves, keep my boundary intact. It helped me gather my emotions and kind of take the emotion out and hold that firm boundary of, if you would like to discuss this further, please DM me. This is my business page and this is a little inappropriate. And my boundary was in place for a reason. And this is just one of the examples of why there was a boundary in place. I would have not been able to get that out if I would have had to try to get it out of my own mind. Even though that's what I was feeling, it would have been overthinking, I would have been over explaining, and then the next thing you know, I'd have been down this rabbit hole, and I would have been sitting there crying for 2 days versus the hour I was sitting there.
Well, I have a few things to say about this. I know this is your messy moment of the week. However, number one, I feel like you knew exactly what you wanted to say, but you needed that reassurance.
Mhm.
Chad gave you that reassurance. So that's great. Number two, let me get this straight. I'm going to back up for a little bit. The religious women are telling you to repent and then bullying you.
Yes,
Did
you
I
heard
hear?
that correctly, and
Okay, I
I
was
think a lot of people have experienced that.
Yeah, that's very disappointing. That's just very disappointing to me. And I'm so sorry you had to go through that. But tell me this, did you learn something from this experience?
I did. I learned that just because I have everybody's good intentions at heart doesn't mean they do. And I also realized that you can't judge a book by its cover. You may think you know someone, but ask, like healthy communication. I cannot express the importance of how AI has helped me establish a healthier communication pattern of not overreacting or giving my emotions a place to land for just a minute to pause and not overreact. Because let me tell you, human side Jen, the curly haired, I got this, was wanting to come out for a minute. She was wanting to come out to play, and I'm like, nope, the holy side, just keep that intact. Just like, oh, but it is hard. It
I know.
is hard. And I think it's hard because our brains are trained to remember the old version of ourselves. So this is a tool because here's the great news out of everything I have learned is we can retrain our brains at whatever age, no matter how old we are, how messy our lives are. We can retrain our brains to have confidence by working with a confidence coach like Miss Maria, or we can learn how to name and recognize generational patterns, how to have healthy communication with a life advisor like myself, because our brains are remembering when we were bullied in high school. Sometimes our brains go back to being the kid that didn't get to sit at the lunchroom table in elementary school. Our nervous system is always scanning for safety. It was designed to protect us, to let us know when it's unsafe. That is our trigger, but it doesn't always know good versus bad, and it doesn't always get reset. And I think that is the biggest thing in midlife we forget is we need to reset that nervous system every so often. And AI has kinda helped me do that. Like, I can't say enough
Absolutely.
how it has helped me navigate fear and rejection and my insecurities because I have a ton of them, girl.
Everybody does. Cindy Crawford does. The epitome of beauty. They all have insecurities, myself included. And I was just thinking the other day, something that really changed my brain. I don't know if it's AI or not, but I used to think that confidence really came from looks in high school. She's so pretty. She must be confident. But that's not it. And now in midlife, I know that confidence is walking into a room of strangers and being okay and introducing yourself. Confidence is saying yes to a podcast when you probably have no business being on here, but you really want to help women. So you're like, yes, that is our confidence now. And moving through life in this chapter, we just need to keep saying yes, keep getting more confidence. So put some prompts into AI, guys, and get confident with that because if it makes your life harder, come at me. Come at me, bro. I have 2 boys, sorry. This is how I talk. I really think it's going to help a lot of women in every single aspect of their lives.
Every time you say yes or you move outside your comfort zone, you are taking one step forward to resetting that nervous system. So the frontal lobe doesn't kind of go offline for a moment when you are stressed and overwhelmed. You can start noticing it and you go, okay, phew," and you can have some of the exercises. If you are wanting to dive deeper, I have a ton of free resources over on Lavish Life Living because I did not have a name for everything that I was going through. And AI helped me work through that, talk to my therapist, and kind of really get, okay, I'm a people pleaser. I can now recognize when someone is trying to gaslight me into guilt tripping me using faith as a weapon versus as recovery. I can recognize narcissistic behaviors, but it is I'm able to recognize that. And now I have safety scripts, which I'm also going to be adding to my website shortly of well, that's just not in my planner for today. I have a safety script for when I notice my nervous system and AI helped me kind of get that into place, work with my therapist and get my emotions back under control because I am an empath. Do you know if you are you an empath?
Most definitely. And I just want to say I'm so proud of you for putting in all of the work because I'm sitting here listening to you and everything that you're saying, I'm like, this girl has put in some work to get there. And then not only, Jen, did you put in the work, but you did what you know that I think is the most immaculate thing that we can do. And you're sharing it with others, myself and everyone out there. Kudos to you, my friend, because you're really doing it. A lot of people would have just sat around and
Yeah. I will say
went
from our
through life.
first episode, we had a listener reach out and she said that she had listened to our introduction and she just felt a little less alone. And my goal has always been if I can just help one person not feel alone because I felt abandoned, it was probably healing was probably the hardest journey I've ever taken in my life, and I'm actually not done with it yet. So I have written my book, Silent to Spoken, and I still have a hard time speaking sometimes. So I have to go back. I have to reread my book, and I'm putting boots on the ground in August in Spain. I'm hiking the Camino 31 days, and you're talking to a girl who has no confidence. I've never really flown out of the country by myself. I've never really done anything by myself, and I'm going to Spain where they speak very little English, and I'm gonna be walking. And girl, we're gonna be vlogging it while we're there.
You are going to have the best time there. But when you come back, I feel like we're going to see a new Jen.
Yeah,
And
I definitely don't think I'll be the same woman
no,
coming home.
no, it's impossible to. And that's, you are going to grow so much on this trip in so many ways. And I am incredibly happy for you, but none of that would have happened if you wouldn't have said yes.
Yes, and I wouldn't have known what was going on or how to say yes if I hadn't used AI to just help me navigate and get my thoughts in order and kind of get to a place where I could regulate. I think not enough people realize that regulation is not it's not something that lasts either. It's something you have to reset. And you talk about Sundays resetting, talking to your AI, getting your meal plan. That's kind of you resetting your nervous system each week of grounding. It gives you that I can breathe moment. I'm safe.
Yeah. And it needs it. It needs
Yeah.
it on Sundays for sure. I was thinking about what you said when you were talking about, my gosh, here's the midlife in me. You were talking about reaching women, and that's obviously our goal here. Making content is great. I love it. But Jen and I are really trying to make a community of women here, right? And if we can just reach one person, which it looks like we already did. So, yeah. But I remember when I first started my coaching business, I think I told you, I had 3 clients.
Mhm.
And that's great, right? But I was like, I mean, 3 people? Really? Like, this is like, okay, 3 women? And I was walking with my friend, and she said, "Are you being serious right now, Maria? How many women, other than me walking and maybe this one over here, did you help before those 3 women?" And I started thinking about it, and what we're doing here has to really, really explode in at least 4 women. Let's go for 4 because I think we're probably helping more people than we realize.
I think so, and I think that was probably the hardest part about this past weekend is I know how many women I have connected,
Mhm.
and I've helped them write books or get connected with the right people so they could write books, and the friendship circles that they have developed, even though I'm not a part of those friendship circles, I know that I helped connect those, and that's what keeps me grounded. I think I heard someone say one time because I remember when I started social media, especially my YouTube journey, I'm trying to get up and started, is well, only 5 people saw my video or, "Oh, that's only 5 likes." But if I had sat on my sofa and done nothing, I would have reached 0. I try to keep my mindset of if it's just one person, that's enough for me. And let me tell you, after our first episode, that one person too can be the strangest person you would have never expected. I wrote a blog. Maria and I both write blogs on our websites as well. You can always catch us behind backstage as well because I write over on Just Jelly and I'm going to be talking about our episodes and I'm going to get Maria to collab with me on a few of those blogs. I had, I call her my ex wife because when I married him, they couldn't get along, but she
Yeah.
texted me. And I think I'm saying this because I want women to know the power of what one woman can do for another woman. It just takes one act of kindness to really change someone's whole mindset for that day. So I got a text. She had read my blog on fear and she said, I'd never heard someone explain fear so beautifully. And it was his ex wife. I think it really made me go, okay, I'm glad I'm collabing with Maria. I'm glad that we are going to take time out of our busy schedules to do these podcasts and YouTube videos because I know what it took for her to write that text to someone that she's not friends with. We've never had like that buddy relationship. We've just co-parented and she did a fabulous. We did great co-parenting. We all had our differences, but we did good co-parenting. She did not have to text me that. And she knows I tell her often when she has praised me, which doesn't come a lot either, let me tell you. I know what it means for her to say, I'm proud of you or you did this. And so just know if you're out there I'm saying this because it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and we shouldn't have a month that has to keep us intact with our mental health. Is check on your friends, your family. It takes a couple of seconds to send a text of you're doing a great job, or like or share their post because that's free to you, but it just motivates them that there is someone listening. There is a community. I do have value because they're struggling with their own insecurities. So we're all struggling. We're all just trying to heal in real time.
Listen, if I come on here and say I'm healed, call the police because I've officially lost it.
No finish line. It's just a constant journey.
I just also want to tell everybody that I'm rooting for you. We are all in this together. And if we can build a community of women supporting each other, that's pretty much my
Yeah.
life's dream. So let's make it happen.
And I want to say thank you to you for being a co-host because the one woman you're helping is me. It's helping me get out of that hibernation mode. I did not put on makeup, fix my hair for weeks. We share Life 360 and it literally never shows me leaving home. So you're helping me get up and out of my funk a little bit, put on makeup. Even when I was posting, half the time if you go back and look, I was not in makeup or my hair fixed. And I think that does make a difference for us as ladies is
Makes you
to
feel
get
good.
up and get out and it helps us feel good. And if you would like to be a guest or tell your story matters, go out to Just Jelly Podcast. or DM me, comment below. We are always looking for beautiful, amazing, wonderful women that want to just lift one another up to have you on. She's guest co hosting with me for a while, but if you blow this up, it might become permanent. So if you love her, love me, just do all the things like, subscribe, comment below. It's free to you. And it just shows us that you do want a community of women to lift one another up. All right. I love y'all. The deeper we dive, the sweeter it gets. And just stay sweet out there. Love you.
My gosh, listen, besties, look at us.
I
Insta
know.
besties.
All right. We love y'all. Just stay sweet out there.
Bye, guys.
Try this 5-minute nervous system reset. 1. Ground your body first. Put both feet flat on the floor. Press your toes down. Relax your jaw. Drop your shoulders. Most people try to calm the mind first. Neuroscience says the body often has to feel safe before the brain settles. 2. Exhale longer than you inhale. This helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Try inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Do it 5 times slowly. Your body reads long exhales as we survived. 3. Name the real fear out loud, not the polished answer, the honest one. Maybe it's, what if I sound stupid? What if people judge me? What if I freeze? Naming fear reduces the amygdala response. Silence tends to magnify it. 4. Shift the focus away from performance. You are not recording to impress people. You are recording to connect. One woman listening may need exactly what you are about to say. Speak to her, not the algorithm. 5. Give yourself a permission statement. Before recording, say, I do not need to perform. I just need to be present. Or, this is a conversation, not a test. And Jen, here's the truth. Your audience connects most when you sound human. Not polished, not perfect, human. Some of your most powerful moments will probably come from the takes where your voice shakes a little and you show up anyway.